All right, good afternoon. This is Talk Time with Pastor T. The very first one. Hopefully of many, if I remember. Because that's always the problem. I have great ideas. Sometimes a follow through, not so hot. But today I have Zeno, one of our students. We are sitting in the classroom, and isn't this a beautiful setup? We got these great pictures were made this summer by
future sister-in-law.
Yeah, you want to talk about Shalish for a second? That'd be great.
So Shalish is an amazing artist, and she came here for a week, I think, and she just painted all this.
I think she was here for more like half the summer.
Oh wow!
Yes,
that's a long time, and she is just she's a very good artist. She does virtual art, and she does things like this, and she's blessed, and I think I've seen God use her through painting, and it's a gift that is from God, not just something that we see in the world. So.
Nice. Well, today I want to talk about Romans 12, which, as Tanya would tell you, is a chapter full of amazing verses. I won't steal her quote without giving her credit for it. And so, this weekend, Zeno, you have championed a young adults weekend. You wanna talk to the people about what your heart is for these young adults?
Yeah, absolutely. Last summer, I was with Phoebe, Tanya, and a group of other young adults, and we were talking and realizing that there is a need for something for young adults at Rock Lake Ministries, and not just at Rock Lake Ministries, but we just felt like there was a need for us to get together and have conversations and talk with people and see what God is doing in their lives. And the word that was coined was honest to God by HTG. How do you say H? Yeah, HTG. And that's what we were thinking about for this week. I've grown up in the church where we have a pastor talking and preaching, but there's always the need for conversations, honest conversations with people. And that's the hope for this weekend, where we can have young adults come together, sit down, and have conversations, and not just have a monologue where one person is just sharing, but we can have people respond to what is being shared and have actual questions in real time and have answers coming from that.
Right. Yeah, good thoughts. So this is what Romans 12:1 says. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is true and proper worship. I know that was the key verse you wanted to talk about, but can we talk about verse 2?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you want to just maybe share what you wanted to say on verse 1?
Okay, so the three major topics we're going to be discussing is purity, boundaries, and worship as a lifestyle. And this verse 1, I think, has been a verse I've thought about for a long time as regards to worship as a lifestyle. Because I think purity and boundaries, that's also really related to worship, because worship is not just singing and raising your hands, but it's like deep respect and honor and homage for God. So that's why this verse has been brought to my mind, and I think it's a key verse for us.
Yeah,
you can go to verse
I like it. I just want to talk about verse number 2.
Yeah.
Just simply for the fact that it kind of gives us the completing thought of how do we get there? How do we do this? And it says this: do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. And in order to get to this living sacrifice, we actually have to break off the chains of what we think is normal and what we think maybe is biblical, just because it's happening in a church setting or it has maybe it's a song. I mean, you're a worship leader, so maybe it's a song where we say it's a Christian song, but it might not be a praise song, and it might not be a worship song, and it might actually have very little to do about Christ.
A lot of times.
A lot of times. right? And so that is just us patterning after the world and then adding Christ at the end of it. You know, it's like, man, I would really like to, I don't know, I want to watch an action movie. Well, all of the action movies are secular, so what I'll do is I'll make a Christian action movie. And the only difference between the secular action movie and the Christian action movie is going to be the fact that at one point for 5 seconds, Jesus shows up. Probably with a machine gun, but Jesus showed up. And now I can call it Christian, and I can put it on the Christian things, and it makes people feel better about maybe still continuing on their worldly pattern.
It's what they call reclaiming the song or the whatever thing that's...
Yes.
And it's not...
Redeeming.
Really, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Redeeming.
It's kind of that thought of everything's redeemable, which I'm not sure is biblical, but that's not our purposes for this talk time with Pastor T. So we won't tackle that one. Notice how I added the other T?
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
My next guest has to be Tanya, so that it's like
another T.
Pastor Tyler with Tanya, and then talking. Maybe we'll have tea, and then it'll be a great alliteration. So, anything else you want to share with anybody about this weekend?
Yes. If you're seeing this now, please come. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's not just sitting down and talking. There will be other things. Like we have a pool tournament, and I'm not so good at pool, but that's okay because someone's gonna teach me. So yeah.
In the tournament, they're gonna teach you. Nice, nice. Because we're in the kingdom, and when we play games, it's about fun and fellowship, not about winning.
Yes.
Apparently.
I'm okay to lose.
I'm okay to lose. Is there a contest or something that I'm hearing about? In terms of trying to come up with a young adult's kind of logo and name?
Oh, yes. There is a contest. We are trying to get a name. We don't have one yet. There's like what's the youth called?
Youth on the Rock?
Youth on the Rock. Women of the Word. Men.
Alive?
Yep. But we don't have one for young adults yet.
Yes.
So, I'm not sure what the prize is.
What's the prize going to be? Come on, Zeno. Be bold. See, as a daughter in this ministry, it's time to be bold. What are we giving away? Making me nervous already. Thinking too deeply.
I can only think of eggs.
You're going to give away eggs. Cases and cases of eggs. A lifetime supply of eggs. Every Thursday you can come and grab a carton.
Yes.
That's probably not a great incentive. We will come up with something much better than eggs. However, if you do need eggs, pop on down. We have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of eggs. Just come in, come have coffee, and bring home some eggs. That would be great. Yes. All right. Well, thank you. This has been the first episode of Talk Time with Pastor T. Thank you, Zeno, for being my very first inaugural guest. Totally, yes, the alliteration of T's. I'm going to have like a T dictionary. Have a great day. Hope to see you this weekend.